It is, yeah.
Oh, hi there.
It's like my left arm is
like a
absolutely
leaflet.
soaked.
Plastic, whatever they call them, ponchos.
I don't want to register.
Improvement.
Good afternoon and welcome to the forecast for today, Friday the 5th of April. So today there are a lot of cancellations due to the wet weather. So the Iranian group, which normally holds up signs over this way, are not here. The refugee people across the way are not here. The people who are against 5G are not here. The people who want better housing are not here. The various left-wing political parties are not here. And that's because of the rain, but do you know what? The Julian Assange people are here. We are here every week, and we can see we have people holding up signs, and it's all happening. And we could talk about the sport, but a lot of sport has been cancelled as well.
The beer drinking hasn't been cancelled.
The beer drinking competition, well, that's probably in the pub. We have nothing to do with this sort of behaviour generally, though. That's something else. Hello, how are you?
To the 228th week of Julian Assange Sydney town hall gatherings. We are ruled by a small group of trillionaires who may be referred to as the parasite class. The parasite class is psychopathic and possesses no moral limits to its exploitation of the world's resources, including its exploitation of humanity. It owns the banks and controls governments and the media. It funds both sides of wars and profits from the sale of military armaments. It manufactures the consent of ordinary men and women with propaganda, which it pushes out through all kinds of media. The parasite class has an agenda to attain absolute control of everything. Julian Assange is being tortured because he is perceived by the parasite class to be a threat. He now spends most of his time in solitary confinement. His health is failing, and the prospect of him being extradited to the United States for more severe torture is increasingly likely. He is a threat to the parasite class because his journalism has helped to give the people of the world a clearer picture of how the parasite class operates. It does not serve the interests of the parasite class to allow ordinary men and women to be informed to the level where they are able to unite and overthrow the parasite class. This is what Julian's journalism has the potential to achieve. People are waking up, but the parasite class is working hard to prevent it. For the parasite class, the torture of Julian Assange is an important way to stifle free speech. Those of us who want the best for humanity speak up for the freedom of Julian Assange. When we speak up for Julian, we speak up for human rights, truth, justice, peace, transparency, democracy, and of course, free speech. We realise that it is not possible to have democracy in the absence of free speech. If we are never permitted to voice opinions that contradict those of our government, we will not be able to democratically oppose anything our government does. Digital IDs are in the process of being rolled out in Australia and all over the world. Digital IDs have the potential to give the parasite class absolute control over humanity. Unfortunately, about 10 million people in Australia already have digital IDs. Digital IDs are supposed to be voluntary, but they have already been made mandatory for the owners of Australian companies. Remember how things went with the jab, which was also not meant to be mandatory. We can expect governments and corporations to gradually make digital IDs mandatory. We must always consider that while our governments attempt to give us the general impression of being democratic and benign, absolute power corrupts absolutely. A mandatory digital ID for accessing the internet will likely be introduced and subsequently used as a way to prevent free speech online. This will suit the parasite class because it will diminish the possibility of people uniting against it. We need to remember the terror achieved by the governments of Adolf Hitler and Joseph Stalin. We should not underestimate the potential for tyranny arising through the use of digital IDs. Through mandatory digital IDs coupled with a central bank digital currency and a social credit system, we could easily find that we are all living in a digital prison with no prospect of people being able to mount any kind of resistance. Those of us who value our freedom need to make opting for a digital ID the line in the sand we will not cross. We need to be ready to support people who are forced to make sacrifices by not having a digital ID. We always need to resist the parasite class so we can stay free and help free Julian Assange. If the men and women of this world truly attain democratic control over their governments, Julian Assange will be free, and we will all be free to say what we like. It is important that we exercise our ability to attain democratic control and unite for the freedom of Julian Assange. Free, free, Julian Assange. Free, free, Julian Assange. Free, free, Julian Assange.